Back up top, James puts up the three. Oh, it's gone! LeBron James from downtown!
We look up to our NBA heroes for their almost impossible physical feats. However, the perks of their enormous earnings always seem to get them into trouble. The players' inappropriate behavior actively undermines their public image and credibility within the locker room. Furthermore, one of the most important and unbreakable laws of the Bro Code is to stay away from your teammates' wives, girlfriends, or significant others. Unfortunately, a few NBA stars were caught embroiled in incidents of unfaithfulness. Join me as I take you through the 10 NBA athletes caught cheating with a teammate's wife, featuring LeBron James and James Harden.
Brown, Shannon Brown.
Number 10, Shannon Brown. Pau Gasol was an all-star for the Los Angeles Lakers who was merrily engaged to Sylvia Castro. Unfortunately, in the 2011 playoffs, he struggled to turn up and play as well as he normally did, and his numbers plummeted drastically. The Lakers were eventually eliminated from the playoffs early in the season, failing to complete a three-peat after winning titles in 2009 and 2010. Soon after, it was reported that an unnamed teammate, later revealed to be Shannon Brown, was having an affair with Lady Castro, effectively ending Paul's engagement. Sleeping with a teammate's partner is a terrible thing, but doing so during the playoffs could be disastrous for your team's success, as the Los Angeles Lakers discovered that year. When the allegations reached their peak, Brown responded by tweeting that he had done nothing wrong. He tweeted, "Okay, let me put an end to this right now before it goes any further. I did not sleep with Pau Gasol's woman. First and last time addressing it."
Another offensive board. Backdoor Richardson reverse slam.
Number 9, Jason Richardson. This is one of the strangest and most surprising cases we've ever seen in professional sports. Steve Nash and his Phoenix Suns teammate Jason Richardson were involved in one of the most contentious incidents to date. Back in 2011, Steve Nash and his wife of 6 years, Alejandra Amarilla, divorced just 5 days after their third child was born. We all know that Steve is of white ethnicity and his wife is of Latin origin. The born baby, on the other hand, seemed to be of African American origin. The media speculated that it was Leandro Barbosa's child at first, but when the Suns traded Jason Richardson to Orlando, it led to the speculations that he was the father. In a statement released almost simultaneously when Richardson was traded, Steve Nash said, "This is a bittersweet moment for my wife and me. After 5 years, we are now in the process of dissolving our marriage. This is my only comment on the subject." We appreciate Nash's reluctance to elaborate further, as this must have been the worst day of his life.
Tone and center of this game.
Another steal, this time from George, and the Pacers regain the lead.
Number 8, Paul George. In 2014, serious rumors were doing the rounds, following the Indiana Pacers' poor playoff performance. Apparently, during a practice session, a remark made by teammate Lance Stevenson drew everyone's attention. According to rumors and an article published in an online gossip column, Paul George and Roy Hibbert's wife, Valerie Cook, had been having social media conversations for a while before they ended up sleeping together. Later, feeling guilty for her actions, Valerie told Hibbert about this incident and thus began the downward trajectory of a promising career of Roy Hibbert. Nobody saw it coming, as it seemed to happen all of a sudden. The revelation shattered Hibbert's success on the court, as he went from being named to the All-Star team in 2 of his 3 seasons, thanks to his elite rim defense and rebounding, to jumping between 3 teams while getting to play sparingly at the prime age of 30.
See, that's all right. So I'll take it spirit.
That's a lob underneath.
Number 7, Andrew Bynum. This case does not include another teammate's wife, but we believe getting involved with a coach's wife is near enough. Andrew Bynum was accused of sleeping with the woman of former Cavaliers and current Mavericks assistant coach Jamal Mosley in 2013. He was suspended and eventually released by the Cleveland Cavaliers as a result of it. This guy was a cancer in the Cavaliers' locker room, and this was the final straw that caused the team to release him, an unnamed team source said. To address the rumors, the Cavs released a statement: "Please be informed that the story on your website concerning Cavaliers center Andrew Bynum, Cavaliers assistant coach Jamal Mosley, and his fiancée is entirely false." Naturally, they would deny it, but it was almost certainly real, and they attempted to deal with it internally. Since then, Bynum has been out of the league for many years now and has shown no signs of returning to the arena.
When we show up here, the same determination, fight, grit, belief, confidence, we got to show up with that again on Sunday. They're not going to quit.
Number 6, Derek Fisher. We got a glimpse of Derek Fisher's personal life in 2015 when his former teammate Matt Barnes allegedly assaulted him for dating Barnes' estranged wife. However, Fisher has always been speculated to be popular in the NBA community for his infidelity. During his time with the New York Knicks, there were rumors about how Fisher was involved with Tim Hardaway Jr.'s lady. Rumors went so out of control that Tim had to go on record to clarify whether he and Derek Fisher were dating the same woman. And just as it seemed that Fisher was more interested in becoming a playboy than a head coach, the New York Knicks fired him from his position, citing poor performance as primary reason, which was clearly not the case. After all, no team wants to be in the news for the wrong reasons off the field.
Parker with 2 to shoot. Just gets it off in time, and he banks it in. What a...
Number 5, Tony Parker. Tony Parker has spent his whole NBA career with the Spurs. He has 4 NBA championships to his credit. If only he could be a champion off the court as well. In 2010, Ava Longoria, Tony Parker's ex-wife, dug through his phone and discovered some lewd text messages between him and an unknown woman. Longoria discovered that Parker had been cheating on her with Erin Berry, the wife of Parker's former teammate Brent Berry. The two couples were believed to be close friends, and it's reported that Longoria discovered hundreds of texts between Parker and Erin Berry. Later that year, Longoria dumped him and got their wedding date tattooed off her hand, while Brent Berry filed for divorce from Erin.
Just making fun of a person. No, you did. How you say he was doing it?
I said he was.
How did you say he was doing it?
Number 4, Karl Malone. Given the extremes we've seen so far, Karl Malone and Vanessa Bryant's interaction, thankfully, didn't get very far during the mailman's solitary season with the Los Angeles Lakers in 2003 and 2004. In reality, there's little proof that Malone's relationship with Kobe Bryant's wife went beyond some flirty banter. According to the plot, Vanessa came across Malone dressed as a cowboy and asked, "Hey cowboy, what are you hunting?" "I'm chasing little Mexican kids," Malone allegedly replied instantly. To be honest, Malone's remarks don't seem to cross the line, and Vanessa doesn't seem to be completely innocent either. On his part, Kobe wasn't afraid to express his displeasure with the remarks made by a teammate who also happened to be a close friend. Not to mention, the two men's relationship was never the same since then.
Lakers have 2. Bryant to shot.
Number 3, Shaquille O'Neal. When 2 of the NBA's greatest stars of their generation get involved with the same woman, things aren't likely to go smoothly or secretly. In 2010, reports started to circulate that Shaquille O'Neal was having an affair with Laura Govan, who was the fiancée of Wizards star Gilbert Arenas. Emails between Shaq and Govan were leaked, and they went into great detail on what they were planning to do. As a result, Shawnee, Shaq's wife, filed for divorce from her husband, citing irreconcilable differences. Arenas and Govan's relationship too faced turbulence, with incidents and disagreements being filed for child support payments, among other things. Shaq might have seemed to believe that being a superstar, he wouldn't get caught. Alas, that was not to be.
Harden accelerates to the hoop. James Harden.
Number 2, James Harden. James Harden and Khloe Kardashian began dating in June 2015. Khloe was fine hanging out with the Houston Rockets player without being monogamous until he said he wanted to be monogamous, at which point she said yes. However, Harden did what he did instead of what he said he'd do. When it came to relationship flexibility, the Kardashian, who is 5 years older than Harden, was quoted as saying that she gave her ex-boyfriend absolutely all on a platter, but he chose to eat from a different table, and she was not going to let that happen. The two eventually separated in February 2016 after Khloe discovered via a private investigator that Harden had cheated on her with 5 separate women in the 8-month long-distance relationship.
Back up top, James puts up the 3. Oh, it's gone! LeBron James from downtown!
Number 1, LeBron James. LeBron James is one of the well-known and influential players of the NBA today, and he's made a career out of projecting a positive picture of himself as a family man. Even so, the Los Angeles Lakers star, who is married to Savannah Brinson, his high school sweetheart, was alleged to have slept with another woman while his wife was away. In a social media post that was later removed, Urza Haliti, the girlfriend of Denver Broncos star Nick Vannett, said she wasn't a fan of James because he had cheated on his wife with an Instagram model, Sophia Jamora. However, neither LeBron nor his wife Savannah have made any public statements in response to the allegations leveled against him. So, what do you think? Which of these high-profile incidents would have caught the maximum glare from NBA fans and the media? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and like us. I will see you next time on the channel. Until then, it's goodbye.